Hey everybody, welcome back to Sensei Steve Says, hosted by Shiage Do Martial Arts. Today for our Monday workout, we're going to do something a little bit different and a little bit special. Today we're going to be doing my favorite cardio workout. To start this workout off, we're going to be doing some running to warm up. So we're going to start with a 1 mile jog. So we'll do that and I'll be talking while we're doing it. So at a jogging pace, you should be able to hold a conversation. So whether that's singing along to the music you're listening to or having a conversation with somebody who's doing the workout with you, you're really just doing your best to run at a pace where you can have that conversation, you're breathing nice and slow. One of the other things that I like to do is count my breaths. So for every 2 steps, I'll breathe. So it goes in, out, out, in, out, out. And I'll count that while I'm doing it. What you want to try to do is get your heart rate to a point where it can be level. You won't want to be trying so hard that it's peaking out, all right, where you're having a really hard time. And you don't want to be trying so hard that you can't do, you can't breathe, you can't talk, right? This is a warm-up. We'll get to the hard stuff in a minute. All right, so get that mile done and we'll come back for the next part. So now that you're done with that mile, the next thing we're gonna do are some 1/4 mile repeats. Now for this, it works easy if you're at a track. For me, I live a little bit in a more of a country area, so I got this nice quiet road I can run on. I don't have to worry about too much in the way of traffic. But you wanna measure out about a 1/4 mile, and the goal for this one is we're gonna do as many as you can. My goal today is 5 sprints of a 1/4 mile with a 1/4 mile recovery. So what it's basically going to look like is you're going to sprint a 1/4 mile. You're literally going to run it as fast as you possibly can. When you're done, for me, I have a 1/4 mile straight away. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to jog, recovery jog, which is a nice slow jog that you can breathe at. It's going to be about a half step pace faster than a walk. I'm going to recover with that. And then what I'm going to do when I get to the end of that is I'm going to do 20 squats, 20 lunges, that's 10 with each leg, and 20 lateral lunges, so side to side lunges, again that's 10 with each leg. And then I'm going to do it again. My goal for today, for me personally, is 5. If you've never done this before, you want to start with a number like 2, go ahead. If you're really good at this and you want to push it farther, instead of doing necessarily more laps, you can do that. I would suggest going farther. So instead of a 1/4 mile, bump it up to a 1/3 of a mile, maybe even a 1/2 mile sprint with a 1/2 mile or less recovery. The goal for this is to teach your body to perform at a higher level longer, okay? This is really important when we're sparring or for fighting and doing your self-defense stuff, because you need that level of heightened heart rate, heightened performance, and you need to stay there really until you're done with the fight, so or the match or whatever it is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set up my tripod here. I'm going to do my runs, we're going to get them in, and I'll come back for the last part. All right, here we go. First one, we get into our exercises. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Lunges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Side lunges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then we start to run again. All right, so here's why you're doing what I just did, okay? So the sprinting is going to help diminish all the oxygen that your muscles have, right? You're sprinting as fast as you can, you're pushing as hard as you can, you're getting everything you got. The recovery jog is you training your brain that even when you feel like you don't have anything, you really do. There's a commonly accepted notion that that when you first want to quit, you're only at about 40% of your capacity, okay? This is you training to feel what that 40% actually is. When you push yourself as hard as you can for your minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it takes you to sprint a quarter mile, you're pushing everything you got out. And then when you're coming back with your recovery jog, what you're doing is you're training your brain that, okay, I can breathe and I can move at the same time. Okay, this is going to be no different than in sparring. If you're doing a particularly hard counter, you take a nice shot to like the solar plex, it knocks the wind out of you. You take a good shot to the stomach, it knocks some of the wind out of you. You're going to feel that exhaustion. You're going to feel that tired. And if you know in your head that you can handle that and you can work through it, right, that's going to help you stay in the fight. Now, the stuff in between, your lunges and your squats, that's going to help build some muscular strength. Now, you're not going to feel that today. Today's just going to make you tired. And that's good, okay? Tomorrow, you're still going to feel tired, but the day after that, you might start bringing it back. Now, doing squats and lunges and stuff, especially with these quarter mile repeats, if you're running anything for some kind of time limit, you're going to watch that time fall off. It's amazing how fast you can go from, 12-minute mile to a 10-minute mile to an 8-minute mile. Going from 8 to a 6, it's going to take some time. Obviously, it's a much higher percentage of time, but you're going to watch that time just fall off, all right, no matter what you're doing, which is good. The last thing we're going to do today, so once you get your sprints, your exercises, your recovery jogs, what we're going to do is just a nice, easy jog. Now, you can do this one of two ways. I like doing my block is 3 miles around. It took me a mile to get here for my warm-up. I did my sprints between the 3/4 mile mark and the 1 mile mark. And now I have 2 miles left. So what I want to do is I'll jog that last 2 miles. Now, if you're not feeling this, or if you've done this workout a couple times in the past, what you're going to do is every 1/4 mile, stop, do 10 more squats, do 10 more lunges each side, and then keep going. For me, for that 2 miles, that means I'm going to stop 8 more times, and that's good for me. Okay, that's going to build some leg strength. Leg day mixed with cardio. What could be better than that? All right, so I'm going to leave you to it. I'm going to finish my last 2 miles here, but before I do that, I'm just going to touch on a couple quick things. Cardio and workouts like this are sometimes things that I put down in the video description to add to regular class. Today I decided to pull it out to make it its own workout because to me it's very important. Cardio, endurance, and karate go hand in hand. You need to be able to hold yourself You need to be able to continue functioning at a high, what am I trying to say here? Percentage of your total output for a long time. Okay, so you might not be able to give it 100% for a long time, but if you can give it 80 or 90% for a long time, that's going to make you a lot stronger. And in a fight, that's what you need. Ideally, fights are over with the first block, the first punch, but speaking from experience, that doesn't always happen. So you got to do your best, and you got to be ready to stay in it for the long haul. With that, I'll come back and give you some announcements. All right, for my last couple minutes here, I'm just going to bring up some announcements. So, New York State is where we operate out of, and they're still trying to figure out exactly when fitness centers can open. Now, as annoying as I might find that, I do understand it. You know, so we're doing the best we can with the stuff we have. So this week we will still have one of these YouTube classes posted every day. We will have our extra class on Friday, and we're gonna continue this week like nothing's happened. Next week is a different story. They're starting to let organized sports start up again, starting on the 6th of July. So we're going to evaluate then whether or not we'll be able to operate, you know, outside or not. If you are one of my Shiage Do students, you know, because I've told you probably 100 times, we as karate students are nothing if not flexible. In the history of karate, you know, karate practitioners have suffered pretty much through every kind of thing. You had the Okinawans, where karate came from, surviving World War II. Obviously, that was pretty intense, and karate came through that all right. And even before that, when only certain people were allowed to practice karate because it was taught, you know, only to the royal family of Okinawa, and, you know, various weapons bans and all kinds of stuff like that. You know, karate has persisted through the time. So I have confidence that we, as karateka, will make it through this. That doesn't give us an excuse to stop training. It gives us an excuse to train harder, okay? We will make it through. You know, a pandemic like this has happened before. Humanity made it through it. We will make it through it again, okay? Will that incur some changes maybe to how we do stuff? Yes, it probably will, especially in the short term, but probably in the long term too. We will have to do some things a little bit differently. Is that okay? Sure. Change brings, you know, new challenges, but also new opportunities. So maybe this will make our karate stronger. We just don't know how yet, okay? So stay strong, keep on getting after it, go get your workout in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.